Alright, iFlight have kindly sent me this Taurus X8 V3. See, sitting on my desk here, so I'm going to try and set it up with ArduPilot. Fortunately, it has a flight controller in that is supported, so I'm hoping I can wire it up without, get it working without actually taking it apart. So the key to that is to make sure that I've got the Betaflight information. So if I bring up Betaflight, so here's the configurator, and I'm going to connect, and alright, I'm connected. So first thing to do is check the UART, so you can see I've got VTX MSP on UART 1, serial RX on UART 2, GPS on UART 4. So those are the key points, so that's good. I'm not quite sure whether it looks like the compass is wired up, but I don't see it on here, so I don't know why it's not registering the compass. We'll have to see. And then the other thing I wanted to check was the battery scale, so you can see the scale for the voltage and the current here, which I will use to attempt to configure ArduPilot. Now the other thing I've done is I've gone to the receiver page and I've hit bind receiver and then bound it to my transmitter, and just it comes with a crossbar receiver. So I did that just because, again, the button is hard to find and it's a pain if I have to then. I've had some issues with this working. It should work on ArduPilot, but I've had some issues with this working on ArduPilot. So I basically updated the receiver, bound it, updated the receiver. Should be ready to go now. So what I'm going to do is go to the CLI. Now apparently if I enter BL, it should go into bootloader mode. Ooh, okay, right, so get rid of that and let's find a window. I want let's try that window. That one? Yeah. Alright. There we go. That one. Bit big, but you can see it. Okay. I'll just bring that to the front. Okay. So I've got a branch of 4.6 here, but the main thing I want is the bootloader. So I could do this with Cube Programmer, but I prefer to do it with DFU. So I've got an alias here, which is this ADFU command. So you can see DFU static -a. So I'm going to use that. So I'm just going to just see whether it really is in DFU mode. Static -list. That looks good to me. So you can see --list found the device. So I'm going to run this command with the bootloader for the. So it's in ArduPilot. It's called Blitz H7 Pro. So that is the right one, which you can find on GitHub. Let's see if it boots. Okay, here we go. Yes, alright. ArduPilot bootloader flashed. Betaflight is no more. So that should then mean, let's get rid of that console. So it should then mean if I reboot it, the ArduPilot will go into bootloader mode. So I'm going to unplug it and plug it again. Ooh. And let's see whether we can see anything in my COM ports. Yes. Device manager is there, so you can see, right, I've got COM port 57, so ArduPilot COM port 57. So what I'm going to do is then use Mission Planner. So let's bring up Mission Planner. Here we go, here's Mission Planner. And let us go to Setup, Install Firmware, 462 Official. Yes, you can't see the dialog, but it says, oh. Alright, so that's perfect. So if it's already in bootloader mode, Mission Planner knows what the firmware required is, knows where it is. Boom. So now if I look at my devices, right, no devices here, and that's quite common on first boot because it's flashing and I get a little USB error. So that's quite common when it flashes. It has to erase the parameters. So let me unplug it and plug it in again. Alright. So now we have two COM ports. Perfect. Navlink 59, SLCAN 60. So I'm going to connect to 59 using Mission Planner. So get rid of that. Bring up Mission Planner. There we go, 59. Connect. Nice. Okay, so perfect. So I'll just go through the quick sort of wizard here to to set up. Frame type. Alright, so this is actually an octa-quad. So I'm going to click on the octa-quad icon. And then calibrating cells, I'll do that in a minute because it's going to involve pushing it around. No compass found, which is a shame. So I'm going to go to serial ports first. So let's consult my cheat sheet. So my cheat sheet says UART1 is MSP display port, so that's correct. So says UART2 is RCN, so that's correct. Then it says UART4 is GPS, so that's correct. So these look correct to me. Right. So, didn't find the GPS, not quite sure why that is. So it's probing and saving, probing, saving, probing, saving, not quite sure why that is. Let's see what the hardware ID says. Right, so we've got ICM 42688, great. Got a barrow, great. Can't find a compass. Okay. So I think, given that I've set the frame type, I will now reboot again. See what goes on here. So I still don't understand why it's saving config here. Alright, so let's go to, so octa-quad B, Betaflight X, perfect. We'll see whether that's correct. Setup. Okay. Setup. Alright, we've got frame type, Excel calibration, we just calibrate level just so that's done, fine. Compass we don't know. Radio calibration, turn my transmitter on.
Yahoo telemetry ready.
Says it's bound. Interesting. There we go. Alright, so. Okay, so let's calibrate radio. Okay, calibrate the radio. Calibrate all the switches. I don't know where radio 6 has gone. Slightly odd that. Got everything else. I thought it was on a pot, but clearly I've done something funny there. No idea. I've got my other 12 channels. Okay, done. Alright. Alright. And then on the RC stuff, I'm going to go to RC options. I'm going to add CRSF pass-throughs, which makes this 288. Okay, and Yapu is beavering away now. Server output, right, so I'll need to connect to battery to test this. Serial ports, done that, ESC calibration.
Stabilize flight mode.
Right, so ESC type, I'm going to go for D-Shot 600. Flight modes, I'm just going to go for my favourite flight mode, so that's loiter here, this is stabilised, this is acro, this is alt hold, Save modes. Nice. Fail safe.
Glider flight mode.
I think those are good. Right, initial tune parameters. Air screw size. It is 7" and it is 6S. LiPo. I will add battery failsafe and fence. I'm going to turn off fence. Right, calculate the parameters. It gives me a little dialog box. So I'm going to do fence disable, but accept everything else. So I think that's good. 7" props. That's good. Alright. Good stuff. Okay, so then battery monitor. Okay, so we will go here to the battery monitor. I'm going to turn off my transmitter so it doesn't make loads of noise. So battery monitor. So my crib sheet said so I think the scale should be correct for voltage. Generally it is, these things are, but the amp reading is is 10 millivolts per amp, and ArduPilot is amps per millivolt, so 10 millivolts per amp is, so 10,000 divided 0.01 volts per amp, so I do 1 over that and I get 100 amps per volt. So in theory amps per volt here should be 100 in theory, so we'll go with that. I think everything else should be correct. Good stuff. Right, so then I need to check the motor order. Alright, so that requires attaching a battery, so let's do that. Alright, attached to battery, and you can see it flashing away in ArduPilot colours there, which is very nice. So let's reconnect Mission Planner. See whether that compass has appeared. It has. Nice. Okay, so the compass requires power. Oh, I didn't. Right, the orientation of the compass. Yeah. Okay. So the compass, you can see the compass is on the back, and these are typically at 30 degrees. And so what we want to do is set up a custom rotation. So custom rotation enable. Custom rot enable. Okay. Okay, and so we're going to go custom rotation. So basically what you want is, so these are Euler angles, so it's your pitch roll in theory. Which I have a feeling is the other way around. So I think you need to pitch up is positive, pitch down, so I need 30 degrees pitch down, no, pitch up is negative, pitch down, sorry, pitch up is positive, pitch down is negative, yeah, so minus 30, and then the yaw is 180, I believe. So we'll try that. Okay. And then if we go back to our setup page, we can, do we get a little, no, don't get any menu. So we're going to go for compass, orientation, compass orient, and it was going to go for custom 1, so that's 101. Nice. And then we're also going to go for compass auto rote, and we're going to just do 1, which is check only. I don't want it to check and fix because it might get it wrong, so that should be good. So I will check, but I think minus 30 pitch, 180 yaw is correct. Right, so we got compass. Probably cooking my MSP thing here. So motors, right. So we'll go to the motor test page. Alright, let's see if we get anything at all. Yes. Lovely. All good. Nice. Alright, so now we need to get them in the right order, and to do that we need to have a little, we need to go to this page here and go to the bottom. Alright, so what it says is for an X8 it spins top front right first, then bottom front right, and then it'll be rear right top, rear right bottom. So that's what we want. So motor A should be front right, which it is, but it's going in the wrong direction, so we'll fix that later. Motor B should be front right bottom, which it is. I have to check what direction these are going. Right, so motor C is rear right top, it is. Motor D is rear right bottom, yeah, which it is. Motor E is rear left top, it is. Motor F is rear right, yes. And then finally motor G is front left top, yes. Motor H is front left bottom, which it is correct. Alright, so now we need to check the motor directions. And my little cheat sheet says octa-cord X so there is an octa-cord Betaflight reversed, which might be better. So if I say test motor A, let's see if this is Betaflight reverse. So test motor A should be going outwards, which it is. Test motor B should be going inwards, which it is. Test motor C should be going outwards. Which it is. Test motor D should be going inwards. Hang on. which it is just about. Test motor E should be going outwards, which it is. F should be going inwards, which it is. G should be going outwards, which it is. H should be going inwards, which it is. Okay, so we've got octa-quad beta flight reversed, so let's find that frame type. So we've got beta flight X, and we want beta flight X reversed. All right. Okay. So I think I have to reboot. Reboot. All right. Motor test again. Test motor A should be outwards, yes. B inwards, C outwards, D inwards, E outwards, F inwards, G outwards, H inwards. Perfect. All good. All right, so the motors all check out. So I now need to try and do a Excel calibration. So I'll do that with the battery disconnected. I'm probably cooking my 04 at this point. So let's do that. Okay, let's disconnect. Have another go at this. Nice, I wasn't recording that bit, so I just connected Mission Planner like this. Okay, alright, so you didn't see that, but I just hit calibrate Excel here and then put the copter on each of its 4 axes. So that should be good. So now I'm going to calibrate the compass. So I'm going to go to compass. And I've got this custom one. So I'm hoping if I start, and I'm just going to wave it around, which you're not going to see. I mean, I'll wave it around a bit so you can see. But I can do this better outside. Okay, start the compass calibration. Alright, so it says success, reboot autopilot, so click reboot, whoops, reboot, That looks good. Fit 13.7. Is that any good? I will just check those parameters. 1 second. Yeah, so that's checked out. It is 30 degrees, minus 30 pitch. Your 180 is correct for that compass. So, pretty much ready to go, to be honest. Config. Oops, config. So I'm just going to put RC8 going to do RTL, I think. RC, I can't remember which one. Auto tune. And then I'm also going to have e-stop on. I'm going to have to check these. So radio calibration, let's turn this on.
Telemetry ready. Stabilize flight mode.
So e-stop is going to be on 9.
Loiter flight mode.
Auto tune is going to be on 10. And RTL will be on 8. So we've got RTL on 8. RTL on 8, e-stop on 9. Motor emergency stop. Auto tune on 10. Perfect. That looks good. Good. And then we're also just going to check OSD2, OSD type 2 needs to be 5 for a pleated display port, otherwise I won't get 04 output. Going to set to Betaflight NSP options 4 to give Betaflight fonts. Alright, I'm just going to see whether I can pair this with my 04 goggles, and then I think I'm ready to fly, or ready to tune. Yeah, I think what I might do, so let's connect this again. So what I'm going to do is compare. I recently tuned a Nazgul 10 which is bigger props but same motors. See, these are Cinelifter motors. So I think what I'll do is compare the parameters. My Nazgul 10. So interestingly, they're quite similar apart from P, so it doesn't oscillate. So D is very, very similar, but these are just the default settings they've given me. P is a bit hot, so I'm going to change roll, I and P. So 0.135 is the default it's given me. We change those to essentially to 0.1. Yaw is very similar. Similarly for pitch, I and P, about 0.1. So I'm going to pick those up and use D. I'll just use the D values from those as well. I think those are good. And then hopefully it won't oscillate. And I'll just pick up a few more settings here as well. Alright, couple of more settings to note here. So
Inactivity alarm.
one was MOT. Right, so I've changed spin arm and spin min. These match the Nazgul with the same motors. So spin arm I've done 0.02, spin min I've done 0.03. So they're substantially lower than they were. So that should be good. RSSI type I've set to 3, which means it comes from the radio receiver. So that's quite important.
Inactivity alarm.
And then actually on this I've changed my gyro filter to 120. 2 kilohertz gyro rate. This is an H7, so I'm going to go for 2 in the gyro rate, so 2 kilohertz gyro rate.
Inactivity alarm.
Gives me 4 kilohertz gyros. And then also Filt D. I've changed Filt D 6060 for roll and pitch, yaw 30, so that reflects my gyro filter. And then the final thing to do is definitely want to enable the harmonic notch with ESC feedback. So let us check that that actually works. So I'm going to plug the battery in again.
Inactivity alarm.
Let's do that.
Inactivity alarm.
Alright, so let us go to motor test again. Motor test.
Inactivity alarm.
Right, I'm going to run all the motors, but I'm going to run them for 20 seconds at 5% throttle, so let's try that.
Inactivity alarm.
And I'm going to go to data, status,
Inactivity alarm.
ESC. Ooh.
Inactivity alarm.
Aha! No BD shot, so that is the problem. Alright, so we'll go to config,
Inactivity alarm.
servo BLH. So I want auto so I can use pass through.
Inactivity
I
alarm.
want BD mask to be 8. So that's 255.
Inactivity
Wow.
alarm.
Everything else is correct. 14 poles, I checked that in beta flight, so that's correct.
Inactivity alarm.
So let's do that. Now, usually with these
Inactivity alarm.
things, I need to do a hard reboot. Let's try this.
Inactivity alarm. Stabilize flight mode.
All right.
Loiter flight mode. Inactivity alarm.
So we'll see.
Inactivity alarm.
Test all the motors.
Inactivity alarm.
Data.
Motors armed.
Okay.
Motors disarmed.
Yeah, wait for 20 seconds again. Test all the motors.
Motors armed.
Status. ESC. Okay, so we have ESC RPM coming through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect.
Inactivity alarm.
Perfect.
Motors disarmed. Inactivity alarm.
And then what I'm probably going to do is connect.
Inactivity alarm.
Just check what, I don't know what type of ESC firmware is on here, so let's have a look at that. Is it BL Heli or is it
Inactivity
AM32?
alarm.
Well, we can try. Let's try BL Heli, see what it says.
Inactivity alarm.
Let's shut up the transmitter. BL Heli. Software. See if I can show that. BL Heli Suite. There we go. Let's bring that to the front. BL Heli Suite. Right, let's connect to Blitz. See what it thinks is here. Read setup. iFlight Blitz G3 Rev 2032.9. Okay. Great. Quite happy with iFlight Blitz G3. So the only thing to do, I think, is by frequency by RPM, motor timing 20 degrees. So I assume they've set this up correctly because this is bind and fly. So I'm just going to leave that. So perfect. All right. So back to here. So we've got BD shot working. Which means we can set up a harmonic notch. So H notch enabled, yes. Right. And we're going to go for frequency of, let's say 60. I don't know what frequency this will hover up. Let's say 60. Bandwidth 15. So that's a quarter. Harmonics 3 is fine. Mode, we want ESC telemetry now. We want the triple notch. We want multi-source. And we want updated loop rates. That gives us 22. And then the ref needs to be 1 because this is ESC telemetry. So, alright. And then we're going to reboot. All is good. So I think then the question is, battery 1 below minimum arming voltage. 12.84. Interesting. Well, that's definitely not correct because that's a 6S battery. Which means I think that the battery setup is not correct. So let us battery volt mult. So let's see what my little cheat sheet tells me about the battery. Scale 210 divided by 10, so 21 multiplied by 1. So I think this is 21. So I think this should be 21 rather than 11, which is interesting power setup. I know they've got a custom power setup on these. So go to 21 there. And now battery says 24.5. Perfect. Okay, so I did need to change the battery setup. Interesting. Alright. So I guess the question is, can I arm in stabilize? Let's get an RC receiver going.
Yahoo telemetry ready.
Alright. Got a receiver. And it done.
Loiter flight mode.
Switch to stabilize. Ready to
Stabilize
arm.
flight mode.
If I arm, what happens?
Motors armed.
Lovely.
No terrain data. Landing complete. Motors disarmed.
Nice, and the spin arm and spin min look about correct. So, apart from what binding my goggles, I think that's ready to give it a fly. Nice. Thank you for watching. Alright, two very important points I missed. One is on pitch. So if I go to the radio calibration, pitch is RC2. So you want RC2. You want RC2 to be reversed on pitch because this is CRSF. Yeah, just reasons, history, don't ask, but basically most modern transmitters apart from FR Sky need pitch reversed, RC2 reversed, so you need that. And then the other thing is that the 04 power is on the VTX power thing, which is off by default. So you can see relay 2 here, default is off, 0. Now you can set that to 1 and then it boots and it'll keep the power on. But what I've done is instead I've got a radio switch on 12 and I've set the radio switch 12 option to 34, which is relay 2 on off. So that means I can power the VTX on and off via the transmitter, and hopefully that'll mean I can get this bound. Hopefully. Alright.
Motors armed.
looks okay.